Tonight, under pressure...
I'll do it.
...on our exclusive ration book diet.
Oh, what's burning? Oh, bloody hell. I can't believe I did that.
Getting to grips with the way we were.
Please try it, Charles.
No, I'm trying it already.
And dramatic results as we weigh up the evidence.
Do you know what you've lost?
What?
Yeah.
Good evening. Tonight we're going to show you the results of our unique dietary experiment. We took a group of children and their parents back to the days before junk food and the couch potato lifestyle, to the time when the ration book determined what you could eat and how much. In our program on Monday, we saw young people preparing to face the food of the 40s and struggling with the taste of boiled cabbage. But what happened next? Here's nutritionist Amanda Ursel.
Class 8 from Corpus Christi School in South London have started a groundbreaking experiment. They've had their snacks, sweets and junk food taken away, and they've been put onto wartime rations for 2 weeks.
You will line up for dinner in silence, and you will eat all your food today.
We are looking at whether the 1940s diet with plenty of vegetables and wholemeal bread can improve the eating habits of the modern-day child. In charge of the school dinners is Kirsty Gavin.
This is what the children were made to eat. This is what they had to be eaten.
She's also a mum at the school, and her son Thomas is sticking to rations at home. Day 1, and it's pilchards on toast for tea.
Oh, it's not that bad, Tom.
We are also following Charles and his mum Judith. He's not at all keen on the vegetables on the menu.
Please try it, Charles.
No, I'm trying it already.
To make sure the families keep precisely to the ration allowance, we're providing them with all the food. They're not allowed to buy in extras, and Judith is fearing the worst.
There seems to be an awful lot of cabbage and potato and parsnip and swede, and I am quite happy to eat that, but the children don't eat that much potato, and neither of them have ever let parsnip pass their lips, or Brussels sprouts, cabbage certainly not. I'm just a bit worried, and I don't know, maybe they'll starve.
Good afternoon to all, and welcome to Woman in the Home.
Helping us with our experiment is Marguerite Patton. During the wartime, she was the domestic goddess of her day, so she's helped us plan all the menus and recipes. We get together to discuss how the new regime is going. We start with breakfast.
We were breakfast eaters. What we did was wheat mealies. Now, if you imagine cutting a slice of bread or slices of bread into little squares and crisping them in the oven until they're all crunchy. Now, you're pulling a funny face, but they're really
I'm pulling a funny face. It sounds absolutely dreadful.
Mum!
Yeah,
You eat mealies?
they're disgusting.
Yeah, well, you've got to eat them.
They're disgusting.
Well,
They're disgusting.
just pinch your nose and eat them. Go on. I'm doing your eggy bread now. Thomas, you're eating them.
They're
Go
disgusting.
and, Thomas,
They're disgusting.
go and sit down and eat them, please. Thank you.
Like many children, Thomas would normally start the day with a sugary cereal. The wheat mealies are proving to be a struggle, but at least they'll be followed by eggy bread. At Judith's, the children are also starting their day with a big cooked breakfast. It's potato cakes and bacon.
I find it really difficult eating this amount of food first thing in the morning. I normally just have yoghurt and fruit, and the boys normally have a bowl of cereal, which is just nothing compared to all this.
Charlie, now, come on, breakfast. And you, Alfie.
On wartime rations, the children get 3 square meals a day, but there's no snacking in between, so these breakfasts are going to have to keep them going until lunchtime.
Yummy. I don't think I've ever had potato for my breakfast before.
I don't think you have, no.
Research has shown that eating a good breakfast also improves concentration in the morning.
More filling than they look, actually.
At school, Kirsty has been busy preparing a wartime version of a modern-day favourite.
We're having wartime burger and chips. It might taste slightly different. Let me know what you think of it when you taste it. It could be slightly different.
What we've got in the burgers, we've got some minced beef, some oatmeal, shredded potato, onion, and some herbs. And then I bound it together with Worcestershire sauce. Now these are special chips. These are parsnips. We were supposed to have mashed parsnip, but I just thought there's no way the kids are going to eat it. So I thought, right, well, burger and chips. It's novelty and they all want some.
Nutritionally, this is a perfectly balanced meal. But will they eat it?
This looks like, I don't know, but it's nasty. I don't like this, I don't like that. But I'm trying my hardest to eat it though. I like the parsnips, but I don't like the burger. Just yuck.
Then Charles makes a breakthrough.
I like the parsnips and I like the burger. And I haven't tried the salad yet.
Take a big fork full of burger and show me you tasting it. And then if you really don't like it, I won't make you eat it. That's it. Come on, that much. In your mouth.
But Thomas, who's normally a good eater, just can't stomach it.
Look at me. Thomas, get rid of it.
In the afternoon, the children are getting milk, something which was introduced during the war but was taken away from 8-year-olds many years ago. There'll be no donuts or crisps after school, so it should stave off the hunger pangs until tea time.
I don't like party flavour. I don't like them, so I'm not eating it.
It's tea time at Judith's, and she's invited some of Charles's friends over for a ration book tea. It's potato cakes again, with corned beef, winter salad, and a wartime favourite, beetroot.
Help yourself to beetroot. I think because it's me who's putting it in front of him, Charles is not being cooperative. But at school, apparently he is eating. He is being a bit more broad-minded about vegetables, and he is eating some. Look, it's really thin. You can see through it. It's so thin, and it's half as nice. Come on, if you eat this, then I'll eat a piece of corned beef. I really, really hate corned beef.
I'll eat half of it.
No, you eat that. That is
I'll eat half.
Look how thin it is. You can see the fork through it. Can you let me put it down, please, before I drop it?
Oh, I don't want it.
No, I know, but you're going to eat it, and I'm going to eat the corned beef. Here,
I don't
Charles, that's enough.
think you're gonna try.
That is enough.
Yeah, now you got it on my potato cake, so I'm not eating my potato cake.
She's not touching your potato cake. That is not any way to behave.
And it's touching my fork, definitely, because look at that.
Well, you're going to eat
Yeah, now it's off.
it. Charles, come on. Well, I've kept my side of the bargain. Gone.
Contrary to popular belief amongst children, they are not allergic to vegetables. And the Medical Research Council has found it can take up to 10 attempts over a 6-month period for a child to get used to a new flavour. The younger you start, the better. Judith successfully gets Alfie to try the beetroot, and then has one last attempt with Charles.
Carrot and celery and watercressing. Right,
I don't like it.
now, look, you reduced me to doing this, Charles. Charles! Let's stop. Look at me.
A few days into the new regime, I have a meeting with the parents of Class 8. The one thing that I think this has given you is the opportunity to stop the children having certain rubbish food, junk foods. Do you think this will actually stop them now? Do you think they'll go back to their old habits, or will this give you an ideal opportunity to sort of wean them off those foods?
The first morning we had porridge and he cried. And then the second morning he had the cereal hid and he was banging the cupboard doors. But this morning then, okay, what am I allowed today? So it's porridge, and he was fine with porridge, and then he had some toast and jam.
Brilliant. So it's kind of working.
Yeah, he's getting there.
So it's 2 days in that it's kind of weaned him off.
Yeah.
One of the things that's really obvious from the food diary is that the children, they do snack. We're in a world where people snack. How are they finding not being able to do that?
Well, Jack came home yesterday, and when I spoke to Mr. Calvi, he said that Jack had quite a big lunch yesterday, and he liked it. And when he came home, he said to me, I am starving. He had 6 slices of bread, no butter. And he said, and he ate the whole lot.
But then what would he have had?
Probably a packet of Jaffa cakes and some crisps.
The fact is, yes, they're eating more vegetables and more potatoes and more bread. But we calculated if they were giving up a chocolate bar, crisps and a fizzy drink, that's 600 calories. That's more than you'd get in a whole meal. Thomas and Kirsty are starting to enjoy the food on the menu, but is it enough to satisfy them?
When realisation hit them Monday about what my actual rations were, I was like, well, I'm just going to be starving. And I'm not. You know, in the 4 days that we've been doing it, I actually feel that I've detoxed.
So what sort of foods have you been cutting out?
We're having no chocolate, no biscuits, you know, we're having cakes, but there's such small amounts of sugar in them, and they're, you know, a cake is lasting us 3 or 4 days.
Do you think they actually, they've never really been able to get to the point where they're hungry in the past because there's this constant supply?
They never did because, you know, thinking that I'm a good parent, my cupboards are always stocked, and it's always a case of you're hungry, you go and help yourself. You think that's a good thing because your child's never going to go without. But since we've started doing that, I've realised just how bad a thing it is.
Thomas used to be a telly addict, but because the TV and computer have been banned, he's got no choice but to burn off some energy.
Tom actually looks as though he's lost weight. He put his school trousers on yesterday after I'd washed them. And they're actually quite loose on him.
Too high. Does that go?
Proof will be in the telling, as they say, when he gets away next week. But yeah, I feel great now, I really do.
1 week into school dinners, and Charles is making more progress.
I like the carrots, potato and fish, but not the cauliflower.
He then makes another discovery.
I've never tried cauliflower before, but I actually like it today. I would rather some more.
Charles.
Which is more than can be said for the dreaded beetroot.
I will.
Can I have some more?
No, you've got milk.
Ow.
That was nice, wasn't it?
Didn't have any.
Well, you've got a bit on your lips. Oh, all right. I give up. I give up.
It's the last few days on wartime rations, and Judith's cupboards are bare.
We're not short of cooking apples, but nobody's very interested in eating them. We're not short of cabbage, but we've got no potatoes left and very little meat. This is our meat that we've got left, a tin of corned beef.
Oh, what's burning?
And Kirsty's rations are heading for disaster.
Oh, bloody hell! Well, that's my potatoes gone. I haven't got any more potatoes. That's my rations done. I can't believe I did that. I really can't.
Thankfully, the mums are due their final delivery.
Right, what have we got in here, Charles? Let's have a look in the box first. Open up. Oh, thought it might be full, but it's not.
Hiya.
And Kirsty is hoping for more bread and potatoes.
Bye. See you. Right, Tom, this is our last rations. This is all we've got now to last us till Friday. We've got 3 pints of milk, loads of bread then, 2 loaves of bread, bag of carrots. This is all the potatoes we've got till Friday, love. That is it for 5 days.
With a few days to go, Marguerite Patton has come to the school to see how the dinners are going.
Now, what would you say were the most successful experiments with this wartime food?
The vegetable mince,
Yes.
they love that. The steak pie,
Yes.
they loved that last week. And the Irish stew yesterday, they were begging for more. They were
Well, isn't
begging
that
for
wonderful,
seconds.
that?
A couple of the dishes were a big no-no.
Now, what were those?
The mock hamburgers.
Oh dear, I'm sorry about that, but you see, we couldn't possibly have proper hamburgers in those days. And what did you think of the mock hamburgers?
Truthfully, they were disgusting.
Oh.
Right, children, who can smell something? Yep, so can I. But, unfortunately, the chips aren't for us. They're for the other children. We've got something much nicer.
What they've got is fish cakes, carrots, peas and parsley sauce.
I'm really pleased that this couple of weeks, most of the children have not eaten processed foods. They've eaten fresh ingredients that have been cooked and additive-free, and I think that's the ideal way to go with the children's diets. I really do.
Well, look at this. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 clean plates here.
This is just brilliant. I know that 2 weeks ago, these children would not have eaten this. They've learned not to eat with their eyes, but to try and taste things.
During the experiment, the children kept food diaries for us. We compared them to their normal diet. We found that on a wartime diet, they were eating around half the calories and half the fat and salt. But most striking of all, they were consuming a tenth of the sugar they were eating before. That's 3 teaspoons instead of 34. Their concentration and behaviour also improved, and Mr. Calvi puts this down to the fact that the children were starting the day with a good bowl of porridge.
Breakfast is such an important meal for the children. Those children who come to school hungry, their performance really, really lags through the morning. It really has a dramatic effect on them.
It's the last day on rations and time to return the food we confiscated from our 2 families a fortnight ago.
Hello. Home delivery for you. I've got the stuff back.
Come in.
I've got one very excited little boy behind me.
Yeah.
He's looking forward to this. Now then. Shelley, I bet there are a few things in here that you're going to keep.
Yeah.
What are they?
Biscuits.
Yeah.
And this one.
The sweeties, thought you might say that. What about more vegetables and fruit? And have you found Charlie has actually eaten more?
He's certainly tried more.
Has that made you more confident as a mum to try him out on new things?
Yeah, because I tend to stick to what I know.
Yes.
I tend to stick to what's very quick, and I tend to stick to what I know they will eat.
Yeah.
And so they don't get that range of all the vitamins and things that they need that this diet has actually provided.
Now to see if Kirsty wants her groceries back.
Look what I've got. Do you know, I don't really want to give it to you back, but the question is, do you want it?
Yes.
Oh, right, OK, that's your answer. What about you, Kirsty?
Not all of it we don't, Tom, no.
Yes.
No, we don't.
What do you see when you look at this lot?
Rubbish.
Really?
This, to me, is bland. And at the end of the day, you know, we've both lost weight.
Do you think you have?
Yes, definitely. I know I have, and Thomas certainly looks as though he has.
Well, we've got some scales. Do you want to pop on?
Yeah, OK.
Come on, let's go have a look.
Yes.
There's no easy way. 1, 2, 3, on you go. I know what you were before. Oh, my word. Do you know what you've lost? It's nearly a stone.
What?
Yes. Can that be right? It is, isn't it? Well done. Well, there's something to be said for the wartime rations, isn't there? What do you think of that, Thomas?
I can't believe it.
Well, even if it's slightly wrong because it's different scales, it's still a stone, isn't it? Oh, sweet. So, OK, my question again is, are you going to take that food back in the kitchen?
Then it's time to measure Thomas's height and weight.
Yeah, head right back, Thomas. That's it. Well done.
We calculated his body mass index 6 weeks ago, and it's come down significantly. He's grown 3/4 of an inch, but he's also lost 2 pounds, so he's grown up rather than out.
Okay, Charles, put your head back.
Charles has also lost £1 pound despite growing 1/4 inch.
That's lovely.
In fact, all the children who stuck to rations either lost some weight or grew in height and stayed the same weight. Going back to rations may at first have seemed a struggle for both the families and the school. But the last 2 weeks have proved that parents can take back control over their children's diets. And we've learnt valuable lessons from the past that could help all our children be fit for life.
Amanda Ursel reporting on the dramatic effect a change in our children's diet can bring. Kirsty told us today that she's sticking to the ration book diet now, and she's lost more than 2 stone in weight. And throughout this year, Tonight we'll be campaigning to get our children fit for life with a series of special reports. Coming up on Monday's edition of Tonight, is it time for a Tony Martin law?
At the moment, the law is against you. It's about time the law respected decent people, and it obviously has a contempt for people in the street.
He's out of prison now, and he's fighting for the right of householders to use any means necessary against burglars. But should we say no to having a go?
The Wild West has actually moved on a bit. We don't need this vigilante nonsense. What we want is a proper, decent, efficient police service in this country.
That's Burglars Beware on Monday night at 8 o'clock. But that's all we have time for this evening. So from all of us here, goodbye and thank you for joining us.
He's in demand and he's got another tough case. More Best Ever Touch of Frost. That's next. Then at 10:30, the ITV News. Keep it here.